Hi there, it's Paul from Lone Wolf from Wolf Territories Grid, or Paul from Wolf Software Systems, and I'm very excited to say that we have released our first, the alpha version of WolfStorm. Now, what WolfStorm is about 2 years ago, I decided it would be a cool idea to rewrite Firestorm, the viewer for OpenSim, as a web application, and I got a lot of flack from it, and I suspect that when I put this video out I get a lot of flack from it, people saying it couldn't be done, and etc etc. So I'm going to show you where we're at with it. The technology is basically Rust and 3.js and WebGL and some other things as well. So we have a Rust proxy that sits between WolfStorm and the grid and is able to cache things and do stuff. So I'm just going to log in with my avatar. I don't know where I'm logging into. And you can see it comes up. This is running in Firefox. If you're going to try it out, please run it in an empty browser. Don't run it in a browser, in a web browser with 300 different tabs open at once. So this is our welcome area, which is particularly heavy. And so you can see it's pulling in not too badly. There's my avatar. So I'm going to start off by showing you some of the features of WolfStorm, then we'll go to a different region. So let me show you, for instance, we've got some interesting environment things we've been working with. So you can make it rain just by turning on the rain. Obviously, if you're in Firestorm, you can't see the rain, but that's something we'll work on. Things like chat windows are all there. Everything works. We've got a build. You can build stuff, and we've made some changes to the things like the script editor. So I'll find a script. That's a note card. Okay, so let's find a script. Okay, here's a go. I don't know what's in there. New script. Here you go. So, for instance, you can start typing ll say. You can actually start typing, and it actually shows you what things do. So we'll be doing some more interesting stuff with that. I might add like an AI thing in here, so you can click AI and make me a script that does this, and it'll put it in there. It's really to do with tokens. So yeah, everything pretty much works. The map works. So the Falls of Lyra, I really do recommend everyone visits this region. It's one of my favorites. I just click on that. That's it, teleport. Now, I've got to say, this has the work we've had to do to achieve this is absolutely huge. And it is an alpha version. So what I'm saying to you with that is that you know, things might be a bit weird or might not work as you expect them. You know, this is running a little bit slowly because it seems whenever I record it, if I record my screen, it slows it all down. It does run scripts. So, for instance, I can do my sit script. So it runs all the scripts you can run in Firestorm as usual. What else can you do to it? So this got a VR mode. If you've got an Oculus Quest headset, you can actually view it in VR. This is something. The VR mode is quite complex, and we've got a bit more work to do on that. But it's quite cool to be able to be standing in a region. You know, let's go for a run. The water is something I wanted to talk about as well. So I've done a lot of work on the water. One thing that frustrated me is with Firestorm, the water always goes in the same direction. So it doesn't matter what sort of region you've got. The water goes in the same direction. So what we've tried to do with WolfStorm is have it so that it kind of detects rivers. And the other thing it does is you'll see that there's like a white foamy thing going on around the edges. But if I go to the outside of this region, you can see it's got waves. Okay, so the water is much less formal. We've been experimenting as well. If you go to the world option, you can change the water to storm, which makes the water a bit more stormy. Waves, calm. So yeah, and you can choose kind of, again, that's just for the WolfStorm viewer. It won't work in Firestorm, obviously, because we haven't got Firestorm. You can see I'm having to do all kinds of clever caching and culling to make this thing work in a web browser. So that's why these things have gone grey, is because they've got to repull their textures. It is hugely difficult to go from a web-based a proper, like a desktop application to something that runs in the web, in a web browser. Web browsers are much smaller. They have all kinds of restrictions. For instance, we can't. There's stuff we can't do with. I'll just teleport somewhere else. I'm going to go to Iceland. This is an 8x8. There's stuff you can't do in web browsers that you can do. So, for instance, you can't do a UDP connection from a web browser directly to the grid. It has to go through this proxy, which has really been interesting to write that Rust proxy. This is Iceland, which is one of Jimmy Olsen's regions, well worth a visit. 8x8, it takes a bit longer to draw the old terrain. There it goes. I've got an interesting thing going on here with the terrain where it like flashes like this. Not quite sure why it's doing that, but it might be because it's an 8x8. But it's not too bad drawing in, considering that, again, we're running in a web browser. So the goal is, why did I bother spending 2 years doing this? I think it's really to make, at the moment, you can't run OpenSim in a Google Chromebook. You can't run it. It just won't run, because you can't download a client for it. And the client's quite heavy, and I just wanted to find a way to open it up to to people that can't normally access Firestorm because they haven't got a good enough machine. So I'm just bouncing around the grid a bit, So yeah, that's where we're at with it. As much as I can, everything is kind of working. This is a bit of an issue with when you teleport to a place, it doesn't know where to put the avatar. We're not anywhere. So I will just say it is alpha, so that it will do some weird things, and it might not work properly. So I just recommend you give it a go. Thanks very much. If you want more details about Wolf Territories Grid, the website is www.wolf-grid.com. Better bring it up. Let's bring it up. Let's get Firefox back. All right. Okay. I'm running on Linux here, by the way. This is Catchy OS. Here we go, wolfgrid.com. If you go to wolfgrid.com, playing browser is there. You need a Wolf Territories Grid avatar. And before people get upset with me, the reason for that is that when you fill in the username and password there, we could capture all the username and passwords for all the grids if we wanted to. And we just don't want to do that. So just click playing browser. It'll give you a little message, tell you about it. Go to Open WolfStorm. And there you are. So, and it'll work on mobile. It works on tablets, mobile, lots of other things as well. Tablets, mobile, anything that has a web browser that's reasonable. Firefox, we recommend Chrome web browsers. So this has been built by my company, Wolf Software Systems Limited. Wolf.uk.com is the company. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's useful to people. And I know a lot of people just stay on Firestorm. That's cool, but it's just opening it up a bit to people who don't really want to download or can't download Firestorm and run it on their machine.